getting into a discussion of two different string band traditions, Indonesian krongchong and Mexican son jarocho. Any idea why I might have put those two together? Guesses? Here's a clue. It has to do with ships. It has to do with the Iberian Peninsula. It has to do with the age of colonialism in the 15th to 16th century, during which Spain and Portugal claimed big swaths of the world. And of course, in all this, I'm bringing our attention to string instruments like this harana that show in their shape, construction, and use traces of the history that brought them into being during this era of Iberian global colonialization. So, krongchong, or keronchong, and son jarocho, in these two different string traditions, we see how cultural elements that were brought to new worlds by colonizers were made a part of local life and identity. As you learn more about these two forms of, dare I say, country music, think about how music spreads around the world, how people find ways to adapt it to their local conditions, to actively cultivate it and make it flourish in their own gardens. And there's a document for you to read and listen that provides context for krongchong. And here, I'll just provide a more personal introduction to son jarocho. I was introduced to this tradition by some colleagues who I'd met in bluegrass and old-time string band circles. I observed their growing interest in son jarocho and gradually got a little bit fascinated with it myself. Son jarocho is a musical form played on stringed instruments with a centuries-old repertory of songs, a tradition of extemporaneous versifying, and there's zapateado, a percussive dance form that accompanies the music in the larger celebratory event called the fandango. I was hooked, and I started working to bring this music to East Tennessee State University somehow. I wrote a grant to purchase a set of harana instruments from Julio Coro, a luthier and musician from Tlacotalpan in Veracruz in Mexico. Since then, I've been working to introduce these instruments and the son jarocho style to people for whom it's a new thing, and to seek out folks who are familiar with this tradition as well. And my hope is that the music and dance of the fandango can create new connections between ETSU and our surrounding region to celebrate Hispanic culture on and around campus. Now, as you read this week, you might get the feeling, as I do sometimes, that son jarocho is like really old time, with instruments and songs that go back to the earliest years of colonialism. Veracruz was one of the earliest ports for Spanish colonists. I hope that you'll look for information about the older traditions of the musics, about the forms, practices, and histories, and so on. And I also hope that you observe how son jarocho serves as a way to deal with change and with trauma, as is the case with krongchong. Now, revivalists of son jarocho in the United States, for example, find in this music a way to reconnect with family and regional identity in Mexico, and to create music and community as Mexican Americans. I'm still very early in my engagement with son jarocho, but I sense in this music's flexible tradition the capacity to foster hope and connections between people. That's me being all sappy again. I hope that you'll enjoy learning about son jarocho and the fandango as you consider them alongside krongchong.